Good afternoon, good evening, and if the sun is rising where you are, good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Buttery Show. I am your hostess with the mostest for this evening, Jacqueline Amira, and with me is my partner in crime, Boken Kabato. Say hello.
Hey everyone, just your friendly neighborhood green archer swinging on by, helping the little man work out their societal issues with some laughs, comedy, some dance moves, and of course my master archery skills.
We are one partner short this evening, and he was surely missed. We love you, and we cannot wait to have you back on to bring smiles to our faces and everyone here at home. Oh boy, do we have some buttery goodness in store for you tonight. We get to go over another Mel Brooks classic. We're going to cover all of his works eventually, but tonight we get to cover the 93 laugh riot known as Robin Hood Men in Tights. Oh my goodness. Yes, I was 10 when this movie came out, and I ended up watching it through illegal cable with the black box that I think everybody had in
Brown
the 90s.
box
You
for
pushed a
me.
little button in the back and you get all
Brown
the
boxes
channels,
for
and
me.
it was like, oh, this is HBO. I don't think I'm supposed to watch this. Hey, Mom, I'm busy. Okay. And you just sit and watch whatever's on TV.
I mean, that's how I
Oh,
saw the Power Rangers movie, to be honest.
what's that?
That's how I saw the Power Rangers movie, the 95 one. Like we
Oh,
had
Mighty
we had
Morphin
one
Power
of
Rangers
those
the
brown
movie.
illegal boxes,
Oh, God.
with free pay-per-view on it.
Yeah, it was black in New York. But
Yeah.
I'm going to digress for a little bit since you went there. My parents, my mom specifically, didn't want me watching Power Rangers, period. Anything that I liked was weird. I ended up sneaking to the drugstore after school with money I got from my mom's purse, bought the VHS video, and snuck watched it until she came home from work.
What you do with the VHS tape?
Oh, I kept it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Her
I almost
friends were
got
actually
scared.
impressed that I did
I,
that.
I got scared she was gonna pull a Wilbur Wonka and be like, we call this cavities on a stick, and just like throw the VHS tape into a fire.
I did get yelled at, and it was like, "Why did you do that?" Because you didn't want me to see it. I'm gonna find a kid is gonna find a way to see a movie, whether it's the 80s, the 90s, or now. They're especially now with the internet. But my gosh, Carrie Elwes is the star of this picture as Robin of Locksley. Princess Bride. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I like, if there's one thing I would always like play on a loop, it's the three trials that
Mhm.
Carrie had to do with Andre the Giant, Inigo
Oh God.
Montoya, and the Sicilian, because like it is so, like, all three parts are just like so repeatedly quotable. It's like you forget I'm actually left-handed. Well, here's something. Yeah, here's a plot twist for you. So am I.
Oh my God. You know, with this one though, Mel Brooks only had one role as the rabbi, where in his
Yeah.
other works he's like two or three people. He didn't even get top billing for this movie, which is
Yeah, but
surprising.
but he did get a lot of hate from the villagers during the opening credits.
Leave us alone, Mel Brooks. He started a fire. The opening credits.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it could have been so easy for him to play like Prince John
Yeah,
or King Richard,
he
because like
could have
he
made
could have
himself
done
more
that, and
important.
like it would have been so easy for him to just play King
Yeah,
Richard and just say, "It's good to be king."
it's good to be in charge. I made this movie. I'll do whatever role I want.
Oh, by the way, quick aside, I did see Paws of Fury yesterday, and
Hmm.
it was really fun. We should review that as like as sort of a part two to our Blazing Saddles. If only History of the World got a part two.
Mm, what could have been.
Yeah. Well, what could have been is Viking Funeral, Hitler on Ice, and Jews in Space.
And Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
We can't leave that out.
Yeah. Search for more money.
Search for more money. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a star-studded movie, and it's no surprise because it's Mel Brooks. if you want to bring in the funny, you bring in the heavy hitters. Of course, Dom DeLuise is in this one too. There's another couple of regulars.
Yeah.
You have
This is
Amy
one.
Yazbek.
Yeah. You know, like for Maid Marian, like they could have had any blonde actress looking for the BBD, bigger, better deal. But instead we got a woman with red hair, puckered lips, white blouse, green jacket, and a name tag.
You really narrowed it down. Yeah, that's right, folks. I can roll with the punches.
Yeah, it's Yazbek, who I recognize more for playing Peggy Brand from The Mask, which we will review at some point.
Oh, we have to.
Plays Maid Marian, and of course, we got Dave Chappelle in this one.
Yep.
This is one of his earlier roles. Yes. We got Usnees, who is the father of Achu.
Mm-hmm. And he ends up becoming the sheriff. And why not? It worked in Blazing Saddles.
They literally mentioned Blazing Saddles, and I love that.
The tie-ins there's a lot of tie-ins in this movie. You also have for Prince John, oh dear goodness, I don't want to say the wrong name because I hate butchering people's names.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Prince John. Yeah, he was
hurt them.
Yeah, Richard Lewis.
Yeah, I was gonna say Richard something. I didn't want to get it wrong.
Right. Yeah. And of course, the sheriff Rottingham.
Oh dear God!
Roger Rees, and what's funny is like in the original story it's Nottingham, but they changed it to Rottingham because let's be honest, something smells rotten in the forest of Sherwood.
Absolutely.
And of course, he dared kill a king's dare.
Oh dear God. I love the side characters though in this too. Little John, Will Scarlett O'Hara being the full name. Mm-hmm. You had Lincoln. Oh dear God.
Yeah, like I love like the blind jokes he makes there because like the one time like he kicks butt. It's like you caught the arrow. Well, I heard it coming from a mile away.
Or he's like fighting the pole and he ends up like chopping it down and practically kindling.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course we got that one guy who could like slice and dice the arrow as it's coming.
That's Will Scarlett O'Hara.
Scarlett, yeah, gotta love him.
One of my favorite scenes is when Robin of Locksley and Little John meet and they do the stick fight, and as the stick breaks, they keep trying to do it, and Dave Chappelle's like, you could just cross. Like this isn't a monumental scene.
And then when Little John falls in there, he's like, even though the water is only like 5 centimeters high, he's like, I'm drowning. I'm drowning. Yeah, a lot of the jokes hit really well. It's one of my favorite scenes. It's really hard to pick a favorite scene. One of the most memed scenes in the entire movie is the part where he has like all those arrows lined up against his bow. But the thing is, that's not even like the top 10 funniest jokes in the entire movie. And that's not to say that it's not a funny joke. It's the fact that all the other jokes are just that much funnier. Because what do you expect? You got my number 2 most favorite comedian in a film written by my number 1 favorite comedian. And of course, George Carlin's number 0, because calling him number 1 would be an insult to his comedy. But yeah.
What was your favorite scene though? Was it that one? Or was it a different one?
It's really hard to pick. I know, like one scene that I think could have been funnier is a part where the sheriff is about to die and Tracy Ullman comes in and she's like,
Latrine. Oh my God.
I will give you a cure to your death if you promise to marry me. And of course he
It's a
agrees.
lifesaver.
He agrees. He agrees to it. But I feel like the joke would have been funnier. He's like, yeah, you know what? Bye, everyone.
Yeah, this ain't worth it. I'm out. Bye. That was some incredible prosthetic work on her, though.
Yeah, it was
To
really.
make
I
her
didn't
look
even
like that.
recognize her.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
was the kid that was yelling around in the early stages of the film when Robin and Achu meet?
I don't remember. I know that's from the scene where we are introduced to the sheriff of Rottingham, but yeah, I have no idea who that kid is. I hope
he just runs in screaming.
Yeah, and it's never explained why.
Yeah, and then he leaves screaming the same way he came in.
Yeah, I can't believe they completely like moved the Lockley house, just like.
Yep, repoed it. Pretty modern day stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, Robin of Locksley tries to fight the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
He rounds up his merry men, his men in tights.
Mm-hmm.
But these men do require just a little motivation from the wonderful Mr. Dave Chappelle. Look at yourselves. Wakes them up, gets them all riled up.
Mm-hmm. And yes, there are 2 hip hop sequences in this movie.
If you can call it that.
I mean, look, it's early 90s hip hop.
Considering they do like part ballet and stuff and mix other things into it, yeah, it's kind of borderline on that one.
Yeah, it's all good.
And we also have, I can't leave this out, Sir Patrick Stewart as King Richard.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't have picked a better person for that, and it is good to be king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's good to be him. My God, Picard. We won't get into that. That'll be covered on another show.
The only thing that could make the casting even more fun is if instead of Patrick Stewart, they went with Ian McKellen. But I get it. No, I don't know. It's just a personal preference to me. Like anything Patrick Stewart does, I always imagine what it would sound like if Ian McKellen did it, and I just love it. Although the problem with that is, going back to our X-Men review from the other day, what if like we followed through on what I just said, and then you got Ian McKellen versus Ian McKellen?
Oh dear God.
No, like Patrick Stewart, like he gives really good performance, and hey, he's not playing Claudius for the millionth time.
He also did, when the pandemic first hit, and I used to watch these, he would read sonnets from his backyard.
Yeah.
And you see all his cats around him just looking at him, listening, and I'm just thinking, you lucky things. Like, I would love to be a cat in the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah. Nevertheless, no, the jokes, like, they're really good. I love the action sequences, and I love like the fight scenes, like in the dining hall, and then Robin Hood's like flirting with Maid Marian, and then later on when she
comes in and ruins it.
Yeah.
Every time.
And there's a part where they think that they're by themselves, and like he's like singing a musical number, like all Renaissance Disney style, and they're not even aware that they're not breaking the fourth wall. Nope, still in the same
the
3
fourth
walls.
wall doesn't exist in Mel Brooks movies. Come on now.
Yeah.
And Maid Marian, I cannot leave this out, has an Everlast made chastity belt.
Yeah.
And even by the end of the film, does not come undone.
The Royal Locksmith.
Royal
Locksmith. Yeah. Classic.
And that gag is pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Everybody knows if you get metal wet, it rusts. So the intro with her coming out of a bath, science doesn't support.
Yeah, honestly, my personal issue is, I mean, okay, first of all, it could be made out of titanium. Like, I mean, I don't know how prominently titanium is used by then, like whether it's in universe, out of universe, but titanium definitely doesn't rust because rust is iron oxide, so you need iron.
Hmm.
But how crazy would it be if they actually discovered titanium back in that time period? I don't know when titanium was discovered, despite my knowledge in chemistry. I know it's embarrassing. Shut up. But that would also make sense because it's the hardest metal.
Hmm. And it almost seems like Little John and Brunhilde, they had a thing going a little bit, or maybe she liked him and him not so much in return.
Yep, he panicked.
Yeah.
1791 was the year titanium was first discovered. Do with it as you wish.
Well, in this classic, I'm going to call it a classic, whether you like it or not, because it's pretty darn hilarious.
Yeah.
In this classic take on the story of Robin Hood, Robin Hood does win the day. He does do the arrow contest, as in typical story. And he gets another shot. Wait a minute. Give me the script. Give it. Yeah. He gets another shot. He gets another shot. Everybody, it's okay. It's okay. He gets another shot. Oh my God. That scene is just so off the rails. And then they do the tomahawk chop, the entire audience. That's a Florida thing. I'm sorry. That just hit home for me. Well, towards the end of the film, there is an epic battle in typical Robin Hood type fashion between, and we kind of gave away the ending with Rottingham going to latrine and getting the lifesaver to spare his life in exchange for Rottingham giving himself over to latrine, who's basically a witch. But even the battle itself between Rottingham and Robin Hood is comical, even though it is pretty action packed. Regardless of what part in the film you're in, there's still a comic element when they're singing, when there's battling, when there's just stuff that kind of makes you go, huh? Did they really just do that? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Now, did we cover when you actually first saw this film?
Brown box. And first time I saw it was towards the end of the movie, like during the wedding scene. So it took me a while later to actually see the movie, but like the first time I saw it in its entirety, it was still in the 90s, so I had to like rewatch it this week for full disclosure, so I could catch up on it. And having already seen the other movies like History of the World, Spaceballs, and Blazing Saddles, those three specifically, I actually think I would have enjoyed the movie more this way because I actually found the references that I otherwise would not have understood as a kid. Because back then I haven't seen the other three Mel Brooks movies.
Even in the 90s, though, and if you're a 90s kid, back me up here, we were smarter than the parents thought we were. Yeah. We didn't let on that we were smart. Well, some of us didn't. I did, and I got a whooping once or twice for it, or a lot, because I was really smarter than most of my family. But we were smarter than our parents, and that actually plays to today with modern technology, cell phones, coding, iPads, this, that. I guarantee you there's kids out there now that can do more with technology than people our age can. And they're maybe a third of our age range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it's like even if you haven't seen those other three movies, it's not that you wouldn't get some of the jokes because they're still funny. It's just that the jokes work even better because you have the added layer of watching the other three movies. Because it's like okay, you want to do a quick wedding? Okay, do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. That joke is funny whether or not you've seen Spaceballs. But the fact that you already saw it in Spaceballs beforehand makes the joke even funnier. And like when he says, "Hey, it worked out in Blazing Saddles," probably would not get the reference if you haven't seen Blazing Saddles. By the way, quick aside, watch Paws of Fury. Just saying.
I think he said this like three times now, 4 times. I don't know.
Probably the first time, like while we're live.
No, I mean, you've mentioned Paws of Fury quite a few times already.
It's the latest Mel Brooks movie, and it's got Samuel Jackson playing Gene Wilder's character. So, you know,
I'm not arguing with it. I just find it funny. We're not covering that movie tonight. We're going to get to it.
yeah, eventually, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we still got to do History of the World,
Young
To Be or Not to
Frankenstein.
Be, Young Frankenstein. Yeah.
Mhm.
Are we going to do 12 Chairs?
We can. Full disclosure, I am a bodybuilder and transformation model, so I don't have as much time as other people do. I train 2.5 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I work a
I
full-time
get
job.
it. I'm a
So-
bodybuilder myself. You know, like you know, you got to build up that upper body in order to improve those archery games, because you know that bowstring is really strong. You gotta, you know, it's really good for your triceps and your biceps and your chest
Yeah, no,
and
you actually
your
talked about me here.
scapula.
I work on the whole body, not just the arms.
I'm not just saying the arms, but as far as arms and chest go, archery is a great workout.
It is. You can also train to be like Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
She was badass.
Yes. Yeah, myself speaking as someone who actually is an archer.
So Robin Hood Men in Tights, upon its release, went on to make $35.7 million in the US box office. It grossed a total worldwide of $72 million. I think that's pretty good for a Mel Brooks movie. Considering that in typical fashion, and I can play devil's advocate here and understand why, but critics in the 90s, and this goes for my state here in Florida and for around the world, don't generally give Mel Brooks films positive reviews. Maybe they don't like his sense of humor, they don't like his style, but most of the common sites like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, etc., like rated at like 40 to 60% out of 100. That's a fail. Last time I checked, that's
like this is why I don't trust aggregate websites. Because you know I always live by the belief that always be open to hear other people's opinion, but you should always make your own opinion independently. So don't assume a movie is good or bad based on what someone else said. Watch the movie first and decide on your own if it's good or bad. Listen to other people's opinions afterwards. If they manage to change your mind, good for them.
Yeah, but you need to see it for yourself.
Yeah. And you also have the right to not watch the movie as long as you agree that you are revoking the rights to say the movie's good or bad. Yeah. That's the price of acquiescence, I suppose, when it comes to watching movies.
Now, I think I have the DVD somewhere around here in the apartment, but the VHS for Men in Tights came out in 94. It also got re-released as a double feature with Spaceballs in 2007. If you guys have the DVD, let us know. I could try to find mine, but I don't want to keep you guys here all night. I'll make a mess. I'll tear this place apart.
Right. Yeah.
It looks like we have some comments here. Let's check them out for a quick second. Mike Fallen, hello.
Hey, Chocolate Thunder, how you doing?
There's our favorite person. We love you. We miss you. We wish you were here.
I appreciate that you're comparing me to Dave Chappelle because, again, he's one of my most favorite comedians. I don't think I'll ever be as good as Dave Chappelle, but hey, if I could be half as good as him, I wouldn't mind.
Let's see what else we got. On a real note, this is a masterclass in how to make a medieval comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to, well, I would say also check out History of the World Part 1 because there's also some medieval comedy there, like the Spanish Inquisition. Spanish Inquisition. That's all I remember from the song, but I know that it was parodied on Kids Next Door. Spinach Inquisition.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because kids don't like spinach.
And there he is. Look at that picture.
Mike, what's up? The coffee is back. I love this. We got chocolate and we got coffee. We miss you too, brother.
Sugar and caffeine. We do. We miss you a lot.
Mhm.
Now, do you think this movie could be remade today? Who would you cast?
I mean, I think this would be easier to remake today compared to something like Blaze. Although technically, Blazing Saddles was remade today. Um, yeah. I mean, with using live action actors, let me think. Because yeah, we could just make all the characters cats and dogs like they did with Paws of Fury, but but using live action actors, that would be a tough one. I mean, I would love it if they had Dave Chappelle reprise his role as Achu. And it'd be funny if he even like referenced that, like something like kind of like Charlie Sheen in that episode, The Goldbergs, where he's like, I feel like I was in this police station for 30 years. where Dave Chappelle would have been like, where like I choose like, man, I've been getting kicked around by these Saxons for 30 years, man. Let's see. Let's see, the sheriff. Wow, that would be a tough one. It would have to be an actor that's like well known for playing a DB character, you know, like a typecast.
Yeah.
Like who's it? Like
I could see Jeremy Irons doing it.
I would cast Jeremy Irons as Prince John, but for the sheriff of Nottingham, I would cast that one guy, like the new Jim from The Office, from season 9 of The Office.
I know who you're talking about.
You
Yeah, I
know,
just can't put a finger on it.
Andy calls him Plop because he forgot his name is New Jim. Yeah, because like he did such a great job playing that kind of character in Johnny English 3, and from the muted clips I've seen of Rampage at the place I go play darts at. By the way, for the record, my archery skills are definitely better than my darts skills, but I'm getting better at cricket. So, yeah. Let's hope my cricket skills improve. Nevertheless, that's my casting choices. It'd be weird to cast Emma Stone to play Maid Marian, but if they did, then you know they're gonna cast Ryan Gosling to play Robin Hood.
Oh no, we're going all La La Land with this, aren't we?
No, we are going crazy stupid love with this.
Oh Lord.
Yes, this is definitely not a gangster squad.
I don't know. I could see someone else in the Maid Marian role. I mean, regardless of the hair color, the ethnicity, you need someone that has comedic timing. I think Zoe Saldana would be a heck of a switch to throw in there, but she would get along with it pretty well. Also,
if they cast a female
from The Big Bang Theory, she would fit in there too.
Who?
Kaylee Cuoco, Sweetie.
Oh yeah, I loved her in Flight Attendant and Charmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's pretty good in a comedic role. She can roll with the punches regardless of who she's with.
Yeah, I don't care for Big Bang Theory, but I did like her in other roles.
You guys heard what he just said.
Yeah, it's not, to me, it's just not that funny. Like, I prefer Futurama.
I have nothing against Futurama, but I will not insult the greatness that is The Big Bang Theory.
Sorry. I just don't like the jokes. Sorry. There were some funny scenes, but it's not for me. And keep in mind, I did watch the entire first 5 seasons of the show and a few random episodes afterwards. But no, it was just not for me, man. You know, like I if I want to get some good science jokes, I would go to Futurama, or make my own sitcom. Just saying.
Oh my goodness,
Mike Fallon could be in it.
Well, we got some more stuff coming in. Let's have a look. Patrick Stewart came in clutch in this movie. Yes, he did.
Yes,
it is good to be king.
It's good to be king.
Let's see. There's our Mikey. Keep the same cast. Well.
Okay, keep the same cast, ladies and gentlemen.
Remake would be Andrew Schultz as Robin Hood, and then add most of the top comedians from this current age of comedy. That could work, and that could not work.
I mean, as long as it's good comedians like Bill Burr and Lisa Lampanelli, like I would actually be down for that.
Speaking of, add
Bill
like
Burr.
Bill Burr, Bobby Lee, Tom Segura, Andrew Santino, Big J. Okerson, Roy Woods Jr. for the Merry Men. Yes, the Men in Tights. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with
Now,
you. On
as long as like they get good speaking roles, because if they're just background merrymen, like it would be a waste of their talents. But it'd be cool to see a movie having them interact with each other. That would be much better.
It would. Don't diss the Big Bang Theory. Yes! There's someone on my side. Oh my goodness. And folks, I promise you this, I will not sit here and list my skill set. We will be here until about 2024, and I don't have the time, neither do you. I will also not show off my bodybuilding medals. They are on display in my case next to my signed JDF figure. That's where they will stay until I get more of them. Then I need a bigger case. Let's see. Did we get any more? No. Aww. Well, I mean,
nothing wrong with not liking Big Bang Theory. Like, I don't like
but
Friends
at the
either.
same time, don't diss it.
Did I diss it though? All I said was I didn't like it.
Well, you said their jokes aren't that funny.
To me, yeah.
Let me see what else we got. I think that's all, folks. Pun intended, no pun intended. So what's funny is this wasn't supposed to be all like a Mel Brooks weekly thing, but it's become that because Boke and myself and the other Michael who's not here, we are all such huge fans of his work. I think a renaming of this weekly episode may be in order. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned for that. Let me see if I can get it approved, like a special edition dedicated to Mel Brooks. And we can go down the line. We can talk Jim Carrey. We can go Robin Williams. We can pick an iconic comedian and go that route every Tuesday.
I'm down. I'm down to like to make this like Mel Brooks summer and then Jim Carrey autumn. Oh man, I would not put I would not put Robin Williams as a winter because that would have like really dark implications. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest, when I saw the ending of that one movie, Night at the Museum 3, I literally cried watching the ending because that last line he delivers, it wasn't his last movie, but it's the last movie of his that I saw.
Okay.
But we definitely need to review Man of the Year because this kind of does, because it does have certain parallels to my home country. So, not to get political, but
we're going to try not to do that on this show. I
promise. No. I'm just like, it's crazy how reality copies fiction.
Yeah, and vice versa. Hold on, looks like we got some last minute stuff coming in here. Have Jordan Peele. Oh, God. Or Daniel Kaluuya as Prince John. Okay, Jordan Peele is the king of horror right now. I don't know about throwing him into a comedic role. I'm sure he could pull it off.
Yeah. I love Jordan Peele in that one role from Key and Peele where like he's in that Hall of Mirrors.
Oh, God.
It's like, whoa. How do you know you're shooting me and not a reflection?
Oh my God. What else do we got? Have UFC fighter Israel Adesanya as Little John because he's actually a funny person. Okay. And if we're gonna go that route, I gotta do this. Just because of the facial feature, the physical similarities, I would put Aaron Shanky in as Will Scarlett O'Hara. That in the Sun, I love you. Have fun at Comic-Con. I cannot wait to see Space Bears. I helped back that project. And there is nothing else to say besides that. Go Space.
I'll say this. I would love to see Blake Griffin play someone because he actually does some really good stand-up.
Let's see. Sorry. Hi, Tanner. I think this is the first comment we see from you. Sorry, really good at horror, but no.
But not the king.
No, the king.
Not the king, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Oh, here's one. Ali Wong as the Hangman as a twist. Oh,
Mm,
okay. I
okay.
like the conventional flipping of roles, and we can go into Power Rangers Dino Fury with this, casting Tessa Rao as the green one, and how
Mhm.
they did the removal of the skirt to have her
I
match
called it so long ago. like like literally first episode when we reviewed Dino Fury, I was like, yeah, I feel like she's gonna like morph, have the skirt, and then rip out the skirt because it would somehow get in the way of her athleticism or something. And then she's like, I'm like, called it. Michael hates me for that, probably.
You sure that's why?
Yeah, because I always get things right. Except when I
Oh
saw
my
the movie
goodness.
Nope.
Oh lordy, lordy, lordy.
I
Okay,
won't spoil it.
better not.
I
So,
won't.
very true. True about Ali Wong as the Hangman. Now, what do you mean by that?
It's all good.
Sorry, not really good. Okay. Oh, here we go. Jordan Peele is a god tier comedian, which is why it would be funny. And Daniel is hilarious in real life. Watch his Hot Ones interview. I will try to make time for that. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it for the comments. We love hearing your take on everything about recasting the show. Before we finish off, we didn't give our scores for the movie.
That's right, we didn't. I, it's Mel Brooks. I have nothing but love for the man. I have to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, like honestly, like Mel Brooks, good luck getting 8 or lower on that.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck on getting 8 or lower on that.
He hasn't missed the mark yet, and I
Yeah,
don't think he's ever
he would
gonna.
have like Mel Brooks would have to intentionally try to make a terrible film to get it to be below a 9, but somehow it will result in the movie becoming a 10, just like his like one of his most famous films, The Producers.
We
And
will cover that in a future show. I can promise you
yes,
that.
I love how The Producers was originally a movie, and then it got adapted into a stage play, and then they made a remake based on the stage play. So it's like a 30 Rock joke where it's like best movie based on a musical based on a movie.
Jordan Peele is one of the funniest guys. I love his skits. I agree. My goodness, we covered so much in this episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we may as well call this the Jordan Peele talk show hour. joking.
We could also call this the I'm going to list my skills hour.
I mean, to be fair, you do have a lot of workout skills.
I don't list them though. And I'm just going to keep it real. I go to the gym for 2.5 hours a day. I'm up at 4 a.m. I put my headphones in. I get what I need to get done, and I go home. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. It's working.
So your skills include having stamina, having agility, time management skills. I'm pulling your leg.
Don't pull it too hard. It snaps back. All right, folks. Well, before we close out this evening, any last thoughts?
Keep working on your archery skills because you never know when you're going to need them. And it's a great workout. And of course, I can't wait to go further back to the dawn of the first comedian and the first critic.
It's a lot of fun to go back in a period of time where most of these movies, with the exception of, was I alive for Spaceballs? Yes, I was. I was barely alive. But a lot of these works that we're going to cover were before our time. So it's interesting to have a younger person's perspective on it versus someone that saw it upon its initial release. There's definitely a change in mentality with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like watching really old movies. Like sometimes I watch the movie Wonderwall by George Harrison or Casablanca. Yeah, I mean, I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, but I've seen it a few times too many. But no, I do have several Charlie Chaplin DVDs and VHS tapes. So
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, like like my grandpa, like he always gets like random stuff from a UPS truck because like there's always like random stuff to get rid of, and very often if he finds like a VHS or DVD of Charlie Chaplin, like he would just hand it to me because he knows I'm a fan of his comedy. But I like all many different kinds of comedy. I also like, as I mentioned, George Carlin, Mel Brooks, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr. Yeah.
And before we forget, where can the beautiful people at home find you, follow you on your merry adventures?
Well, you could find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, where in a little less than an hour from now, I'll be finishing up Sonic Heroes. So be sure to check that out. I'm finishing the game today, which means next week I have to get started on Shadow the Hedgehog. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. And Jacqueline, the hostess with the mostest, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Jacqueline Amira, all lowercase letters, all together. I appreciate everyone that has followed me on my journey, whether you're following now or you've been with me from the beginning when I started this thing a few years ago. I appreciate you so, so much.
Yeah, and I appreciate everyone on my journey, and I appreciate everyone who's on our mutual journey here at the Buttery Show, and be sure to keep up that love by following, liking, subscribing to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and be sure to check out our sister show, the Morphin Network, where I review Kamen Rider Revice, and she will start reviewing Avatar Sentai Dawn Brothers. Both good shows, and of course, together, we are finally caught up with Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2. So
give us more, Netflix. We want more.
yeah. And then things are going to get cosmic next year, from what I understand.
Oh boy, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Till then, guys, I don't think there's anything left for us to say but to enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Keep yourselves cool and hydrated.
Absolutely.
And of course,
no matter where you are, make the world a little bit better for yourself and for someone else. You'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes for people.
Of course.
We love everyone. You. Have a good night. And until next time.
Bye.